Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Mama Genius Hub podcast for mompreneurs. Think of this. You start the day with big plans today. You'll get the work done, be fully present with your kids, and finally feel like you're in control. Who's woken up like that? And then life happens. The baby won't nap. The client deadlines get moved. The house is a mess. By the end of the day, you're running on fumes, snapping at your kids, and feeling like you failed again. And when you finally get that second to yourself, you don't relax. You start spiraling. I should have been more patient. I should have gotten more done. I should be able to handle this better. But here's the truth. You're not failing. You're just expecting yourself to function at a speed no human can maintain. Today, I'm sharing 3 powerful ways with Kayce here of how to get out of the good mom guilt trap and to start feeling like yourself again. We'll dive right in. Mamas, welcome to the Mama Genius podcast, where real stories meet real solutions for mompreneurs just like you. I'm Michelle DeKaiser, a mom of 3, entrepreneur, and your biggest cheerleader as you navigate the chaos of motherhood and business. Ever felt overwhelmed trying to grow your business while juggling school drop-offs, sports practices, everything in between? You're not alone. In just 15 minutes or less, we'll dive into relatable struggles, expert insights, and practical strategies you can actually use to build the life and business you love, because you don't have to do this alone. Let's do motherhood and entrepreneurship together. Let's jump in. And today we're jumping in with Kayce, who is a licensed clinical medical health counselor and prenatal mental health specialist who helps anxious and overwhelmed moms navigate motherhood with confidence. Draw from her experience with her postpartum anxiety and 20 years in the mental health field. She can cut through unrealistic parenting advice to deliver evidence-based, mindful strategy solutions that actually work. Whether her clients are struggling with sleep deprivation, feeling of isolation, or questioning their abilities as a mom, never done that before, Kayce offers professional guidance and genuine understanding they need to thrive. Welcome to the podcast, Kayce. I'm so excited to have you on this morning.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm excited to be here.
So I just want to dive right in because, I'm sure you felt the same way too, where we go into that spiral of fact, all those thoughts just circling through your head. And the kicker part is you always waking up with that intention of, I've got this, I'm going to jump through it. And then look what happens.
Right. Baby has other plans, or just, germs have other plans, we have so many ideas about what we want or what we think it means to be a good mom. And it really just means whatever happens, like you go with the flow. And good moms don't, bad moms don't worry about all the things, right? And being a good mom, right? So if you're worrying about whether you're a good mom or not, then that's your answer. You are.
I love that perspective in terms of like it's so true though. Like when you're like sitting there trying to make sure that you're doing it right and doing all those things, and you're just all of a sudden just labeling yourself, I'm the bad mom. Mm-hmm. But when you're having those thoughts, it actually proves that you're putting the effort into trying to do something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And our thoughts, it's natural for those thoughts to kind of spiral, and actually, especially in, for any postpartum moms who are listening, know that we don't really know exactly why, but we call them intrusive thoughts. They can happen. They can happen to any of us, honestly, but especially in that postpartum period, your hormones are doing what they're doing, and you're overwhelmed, probably sleep deprived. Especially for first time moms, you're learning a lot of new things. The baby did not come with an instruction manual, and whether or not you have support, like there's just so many things going on. It's a lot to adjust to, and so it's very natural to have just thoughts creep in, and to have difficulty organizing them or getting them out of your head. And honestly, some of them can be really terrifying. And so I like to just normalize all of that stuff for new moms, especially because it's okay, and they're just thoughts. And so whether from the very maybe trivial types of thoughts, like, like you were saying, the house is a mess and I've got to reschedule this and that, and the baby's crying and I don't know what's going on and what am I even going to make for dinner? And, from those types of just like daily overwhelming type things to really terrifying thoughts like, I shouldn't be a mom. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not enough. Those kinds of things. No matter what they are, we can stop and notice them. And they're just thoughts. They're not intentions. They're not actions. They come and they go. And with mindfulness, a mindfulness practice is just that. It's just slowing down enough to notice what's coming in and what's going out, and kind of just saying like, "Oh, hello, hello, guilt. I see you there. Come on in, have a seat, but you're gonna have to sit in the back because I'm not letting you have front stage right now because I have other things to do." And so because we can get really caught up in like getting rid of the thoughts or like managing them or like pushing them away or like rid yourself of anxiety and rid yourself of depression. It's just like, that's not realistic. Those feelings are natural. And so just welcome them in. They don't have to take over.
I love that so much, that just putting that normal part on it too, that feelings are just natural. Like we will have them, but it's always a question of when they come in, it's like, what do you do with them? And so I'm so inspired by the women who are listening to this and for us even to be having this conversation, because it gives you the tools. And like, they're going to come in, and it's the same thing. I love to say this about meditation too. A lot of people are like, all the thoughts need to leave my head to be able to meditate. It's more that you're being aware of the thoughts as they come in, but then being able to say, okay, time to go, time to keep going. And there's never this ultimate, like it has to be one way. And we all do things a little bit differently too, as well. But to really be able just to acknowledge the thoughts. And I think as you're pointing out, the more you acknowledge them, the more you're able to say what you want them to happen with, instead of taking them on as truth. I think that's where we fall into the mom guilt, is when we decide to acknowledge that these thoughts are our truth. What do you think on that?
Exactly. Yeah. And you brought up meditation, and, with meditation, and anybody's listening who's tried meditation, like, I know there are people out there saying like, it just doesn't work for me. I can't do it. Like, I can't quiet my mind enough to do it. Like the thoughts won't stop. And it's just like, no, like it's a practice. Like nobody masters it. Nobody's expecting you to be a guru, sitting on a mountaintop of just like in your Zen place. Meditation is a practice, and it is the point of mindfulness and meditation is to really just notice and kind of like acknowledge that this is how our brains work. We're constantly lost in all the things that we have to do and all the thoughts and all the feelings all day long. Like we're really on autopilot. And when you can stop and take a deep breath and slow down enough to just notice and acknowledge and even like treat yourself with some compassion, with all of those intrusive thoughts that are popping up. What if we, didn't judge them so much, but we just said, oh, I see all of you thoughts and all you feelings, and I'm going to just embrace you and know that you're part of me. And I am fine the way I am.
We're going to touch on that in just a moment and talk more about I'm fine the way that I am, because I think that's something we need to dive deeper in just a moment. Are you a speaker or expert struggling to get your message in front of busy mompreneurs? You have valuable knowledge to share, but let's be real. Most moms don't have an hour to sit through long trainings. They need quick, actionable solutions that fit into their day. That's where the Mama Genius Hub comes in. Inside the Hub, I'll help speakers like you turn your expertise into a streamlined mini course, not long lectures, but 5 bite-sized sections in just 1 to 5 minutes long, with simple workbook pages or implementation steps that mom can actually complete in 15 minutes or less. Mom time. Not only does this format make your content more accessible, but it helps you reach, engage, and impact mompreneurs in a way that actually fits into their lives. Plus, as a Hub speaker, you'll be part of our Speaker Women's Circle, where we collaborate, refine our messages, and support each other in a growing your audiences and income. We'll lift each other up both mentally and financially. Come to connectingmamas.com to see if it's the right fit for you. Once again, come to connectingmamas.com. And we're back. And so I really want to dive deep into this idea of I'm good the way I am. I'm actually taking a coaching course right now. One of the topics was really looking at gratitude. And it really gave me a different perspective on what I'm grateful for. I kept thinking like, I'm not feeling enough joy. And I'm going through the process of being a coach and doing all these things. I'm like, well, if I'm not living in the joy, how can I be? And then what he did say is it's okay if you're not like feeling the joy right now or saying that I'm grateful for it. But what are the feelings that you are proud of or that you're grateful for? And he put the idea was like, I'm empathetic. And then feeling the gratitude for the things that you are right now and just being in that moment, which is then allowing you to see the beauty of who you are more than just saying, I'm not this yet, or even that I'm going to be this later, but just starting with emotions and feelings and thoughts, the things you are proud of and grateful in this moment in time.
Right. And if we don't slow down like that does not come naturally to us, especially in our culture. Go, 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 have more, buy all the things. Like, I need a better car. I need a better house. Like, this is broken. I need a new one. And yeah, it's really about more and more and more. But if you stop and think, like, there are things that there's always something that you can be grateful for. And I love that. I love all the things, the meditation that you brought up, the deep breathing and now the gratitude. Yeah, it all goes together, doesn't it? Because all those things require that we stop and slow down and give ourselves some attention. And that's the key, really, to pay attention. And I just recently started doing that for myself, trying to stop at after dinner, after like the day is done. I just write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. Because during your day, come on, like if you're a mom, a lot of your day is frustrating and stressful, right? Because we just have a lot on our plates. And so we're not actively thinking, oh, I'm so grateful for this beautiful weather today, or I'm so it is, yeah, it's like it's what we're lacking, like you were saying, like what's not working out, what do I need to fix, what do I need to do, what's left to do, what didn't I get around to doing yesterday, and now I'm catching up. But gratitude is about recognizing that, like, in this moment right now, what do you have? And even if it is, it's maybe hard to come up with things at first, because in our culture, we value stuff and money and all, and so sometimes it's just like, I'm grateful that I'm alive, I'm grateful that I'm sitting here and I am able to take a minute for myself. I'm grateful that my kid is asleep and not bothering me. Whatever, whatever comes to you, that you are grateful for, that's good. That's enough.
I love that so much. And unfortunately, we're running out of time, but I am so grateful for this conversation right now. I'd love for you to tell everyone how they can find you more.
Awesome. Yes, I have enjoyed this too. Please visit my website, kaycehodos.com, and get on my email list. I love staying in touch by email, and you can hear about anything that I have going on. Just read up my blog. You just get to know me through my website, and reach out if you need some support.
Did you have a free gift for the audience? I couldn't remember. I'm sorry, my brain's a little.
I don't, but I do have 2 like private podcasts that people can sign up for on my website. So please go check that out.
Make sure to check those out. And we're going to put Kayce backstage for a moment as we go through some takeaways from today. We got quite a few. Now we're looking at all those tips of how do we stop that mindset going, right? So the first thing I love that Kayce brought up is that when you think you're being a bad mom, that's probably a sign, and for you to tell yourself right now that I am being a good mom, because you're being conscious, you're worried about what's happening. That is a sign that you are a good mom. And I'd rather you rephrase it to I am a good mom, but sometimes those thoughts come in, but just take that as a new recognition. And number two is remembering that these are just thoughts, that the key isn't that they're going to necessarily all go away or change all at once. But the more that we stop to notice them, they start to change a little bit as we take control over what are these thoughts. And so really, it's just really about stopping and noticing and deciding what you want from that point, which then takes us to number three, which we're really talking about that meditation and that mindfulness. And it's not necessarily that you need all your thoughts to stop when you're in meditation, because again, it's not going to happen. It's not realistic. I don't know if anyone's told you that, but it's not realistic. And so it's more about, again, that stop and noticing. And the same thing happens in meditations, but it's giving us that chance to, it's like playing a game, because you're getting better at it. And the more you start to decide what those thoughts are, or say no thank you to your thoughts, the more you have control over what they are. Which then takes on number four is we have that choice, because we can make those thoughts our truth, good or bad. But it's you deciding if taking on the truth of I am a bad mom versus I am a good mom. That is a choice you have. And so it depends on what you decide you want to be your truth. Make that intentional. And then number five was we're giving that tip of slowing down with gratitude. And we're not trying to say those affirmations of like, let's do all these great things and stuff, but really looking at for instance, I struggle right now with finding joy all the time. So I don't need to focus on that, because that's something in lack. What I can focus on is that I'm so proud that I am empathetic and that I'm having these conversations and working towards doing that. So those are the types of things that we should then focus on. And I'm going to bring Kayce back for her final takeaway and call to action for you all.
Yeah, ditto what everything Michelle said. And yeah, just be compassionate with yourself. Think of when you are struggling with something, think about, what if a friend of yours was telling you this? What would you say to that person? Because chances are you'd have some compassion for that person. So treat yourself with that compassion. You deserve it too.
So our takeaway for today, reframe that conversation in your head and ask what would happen when you tell it to your friend. So next time that comes up in your head, you think of the word reframe and see what comes out differently. Thank you so much, Kayce, for joining us today. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all on the next episode. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Michelle.
That's a wrap for today's episode. I hope this gave you something valuable to take with you, because even small steps make big differences. If you're a speaker or an expert and you want to reach more busy mompreneurs without overwhelming them with long trainings, I'd love to help create something powerful inside the Mama Genius Hub. We will make it easier to streamline your message into quick, high-impact lessons that truly fit mom time. Come to connectingmamas.com to see if it's the right fit for you. Once again, come to .com. Before you go, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss an episode. And if today's conversation spoke to you, share it with another mompreneur who needs to hear it. See you next time.